my video resource presented by buffbutch.com, how I use strength training to create a body that aligned with my masculine gender identity. As masculine center folks, we are constantly at war with the standards of normative society. Who we can love, how we look, how we identify and move through this world. Our community is constantly engaged in breaking free from and challenging the mainstream. From performance to art, music, fashion, poetry, and writing. But what about shaping a narrative for our physical bodies? How do you craft an image that outwardly projects your internal gender identities? That's where I come in. Hey, I'm Pat, the founder of buffbutch.com. That's me on the left there at 14 years old, the top of the picture. Co-featuring my mom and sister sitting there at the bottom. Confused and miserable, I was totally unaware I was suffering from gender dysphoria. As a coping mechanism, I decided to start working out so I could present in a way that more aligned with my developing masculine gender identity. So I started boxing, and I got pretty good at it. But I wasn't 100% satisfied with the way my body presented through boxing alone. What I ultimately wanted to change in my body, slimmer hips, wider shoulders, more defined arms, needed to be accomplished through other training methods. So I started learning more about weightlifting and strength training from coaches and had my big aha moment. It was intentional, scientifically based training that helped me solve my problems. Through a structured weightlifting program, I've been able to create the body I wanted. If you're looking to gain control over your body like I did, I want to help you. In this resource, I want to teach you what I know about strength training so you can implement a gender-affirming program of your own. I'm going to give you the rundown on the hows and whys of a practical but efficient strength training program so you'll really know what you're doing next time you go to the gym. Today we're going to go over proper exercise selection, training frequency, volume, rest time, training session length, and the most overlooked aspect of a successful training program. Let's start it off with exercise selection. Not all exercises are created equal. Multi-joint, compound movements get priority in a workout. Accessory movements come secondary. So what exactly are compound movements? These require multiple muscles to perform, making them more efficient and balanced. They develop greater overall strength. You don't want muscle that's only for show, right? And they allow you to use more weight, which promotes greater muscle growth. So what compound movements should you use? My personal favorites are, and pretty much the staples of any good training program, are squats, deadlifts and Romanian deadlifts, presses, rows, push-ups, chin-ups, pull-ups, lunges, thrusts, which look a little comical but are really an important part of your training program, and dips. So what are accessory exercise movements? These come after performing compound movements in your routine. They help improve smaller muscle groups, either for aesthetic or for assisting bigger lifts. My personal favorite accessory exercises are lateral raises, bicep curls, shrugs, lat pull down, leg extension, and bodyweight variants such as squats done with higher reps and for different rest times. You don't have to live in the gym to see results. 3 to 4 days of lifting is enough to see a positive change in your body. Try to allow for days off in between lifting to allow your body to recover. You can perform cardio during this time if you really need to do something. So the volume, how many sets and reps? Well, first let's start off exactly what are reps. These are the number of times you perform an exercise before stopping. And sets are how many times you repeat a set number of reps. So for example, if you are doing 3 sets of 8 reps of squats, you'll perform 8 squats, rest, and that'll be 1 set. Perform another 8 squats and rest. There'll be 2 sets, and then perform a final 3rd set of 8 squats, and that'll be a complete workout for the squats at least. During your workout, focus on quality, not quantity. For beginners, sets of 3 are ideal. So rep ranges vary depending on your specific goals. The 1 to 4 range are best for pure strength gains. These should be included periodically in more experienced lifters' training routines, but they are not for beginners. There's a higher injury risk due to the heavy weight that you'll be lifting, especially as you're still learning how to do those movements properly. 5 to 8 reps should be the main focus of your training. These develop longer lasting muscle growth, promote strength development, and they're a safer range as there's less fatigue and they aren't as heavy as the 1 to 4 range. These will also cause less soreness, so if you're not looking to feel your workout for days afterwards, this is the good range to stay in. 9 to 14 plus rep range. These can help with making muscles appear bigger. Usually I use higher reps in accessory movements or bodyweight only exercises. So how long should you be resting between sets? This depends on a few different variables, such as the exercise being used, your experience, and the outcome you want from training. If you're lifting really heavy, you're going to need longer to rest to recover. Think something along the lines of 2 to 10 minutes per set, depending on what you're doing. Beginners, since you aren't lifting as much, can use 45 seconds to 2 minutes. The longer rest periods should be used for harder compound movements, such as squats and deadlifts. You may have the desire to ignore resting between sets, but if you aren't rested enough, you can negatively impact the quality of your sets. Rule of thumb, don't be out of breath when starting a set. So training session length. Again, less is more. You don't need to do marathon workouts that leave you destroyed when you train. 45 to 60 minutes, including your warm-up and cool-down, is ideal for beginners. Sometimes less if you've been inactive for a long period of time. This specific time is the greatest for growth hormone secretion. Longer can actually damage your recovery. The bonus advantage is if you're having a hard time committing to a training routine, you'll have an easier time getting to the gym if you know it will only take an hour or less. Last but not least, this most overlooked part of a good program is recovery. If you want your muscles to grow, you need to give them time to heal. Working out actually damages muscle fibers. Resting allows them to grow back stronger than before. Active recovery is best, like going for a walk or a slow bike ride to keep the blood supply moving. Make sure to stretch, use trigger point and other preventative physical therapy methods. So let's put this all together. An example training day, or actually I've included 2 training days, for a beginner can look something like this. Simple, practical, and efficient. That should be enough to get you started lifting at the gym. But if you're looking for the exact training plan I use for myself and for many of my clients, I'm going to be opening up a limited number of spots for my 12-week Masculine Center Transformation Program. There is no true definition of what masculine should look like, but I've routinely had masculine identified folks approach me asking for help to slim down their hips, build out their shoulders, and beef up their guns. So I recreated the training routine I've used before successfully, and I'm bringing it online for you. If you wanted to use working out to shape your body but have been unsure where to start, this is the perfect program to help you. The 12-week online transformation program includes done-for-you weekly workouts, a special mobile app that demonstrates exercise movements and tracks your progress, nutritional guidance, optional cardio routines to accelerate changes, and support and guidance from me weekly. Unfortunately, I only have a limited number of openings available, so make sure to grab your spot before I have to close it down. Enrollment ends Friday, July 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or when all my spots have filled up. So if you're ready to commit to the next 12 weeks to creating a body that reflects your masculine gender identity, make sure to click the button below.